We're officially live.
Hello, everyone.
All right. Good morning, guys.
We are going to go over the Sallie House. That's while we wait a minute or two for people to get notified that we're in. We were just talking a little bit ago about things that we're going to be posting in the Discord later. Um, just because, why not? Though the book I put up there, The Looking Glass Rose, if you like young adult, it is a retelling of Alice in Wonderland. Like the Mad Hatter is her bodyguard, and his hat flattens down in the blades that he fights with.
I
So much more
love it.
cooler than the Disney
Yep.
version.
I was
Agree.
gonna say that sounds cool.
And I love that the evil queen, um, she is roses, but she's like flaming red hair, red gown, and her gown is made out of roses that are carnivorous and will eat you. So,
Oh, I love that.
um, so it's a really cool. It's a 3-part series.
Always like a series because I get really frustrated when, like, Wayward is a perfect example of that. When it's like a standalone, I'm like, okay, that was amazing, but I want more of that. And then I like will look at that
Right.
author and they only have maybe like, they're newer. They have like 2 books out, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be chasing
Yeah.
this feeling for a while, huh?
Do it again. Do it again. Do the
Yeah,
trick again.
exactly.
Um,
That's what we
let's
kept saying
see.
after the eclipse. Brandon's whole family goes, again, like when it was done.
Like, well, you could drive or
Yeah,
fly across the U.S. in 2 years. I think it's going to
yeah.
be of total again in like 2 3 years, but like southwestern.
Okay.
So, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we're like, we
Uh,
didn't appreciate it enough.
hey, Vicky. Vicky, sorry about last week, guys. I wasn't able to stream while driving, so that was why we were not here. Um,
Mm.
but today we're going to be talking about the Sallie House, and if you guys have ever heard of it, or if not, questions, comments are welcome. So jump in, even if you've only seen some documentaries, you don't know much. We've been watching and reading up on stuff for
Mm.
2 weeks now. Hey, Karen, and I think we all agree that there's like 1 2 questions that are really ultimately down besides the whole is it really haunted? I think there's enough people
Right.
that say that it is. But is Sally even real? And then
Right.
the gossip is, was she really the doctor's daughter or not? If she was real.
Yeah, I will
Right. Yeah.
say too, I forgot to mention this before, but Sam and Colby had said something like, and not just them but other investigators too, that their names are escaping me, but have mentioned like, is it possibly demonic? Of course, like every other case in the world, so we could always go into
Well,
that as well.
there's more. There's more to the. There's more behind that than just your normal investigators calling it demonic.
Hmm.
It's believed that there was a full ceremony held in the basement because there was a pentagram down there and they ran the stuff over it. I forget exactly what it is, like what you use at a crime scene. And they did find blood
Hmm.
Luminol.
connected. Yeah, thank you. Well, we knew you knew.
That
Um,
got you.
um, and they used that and found that there was blood. So it's very likely that some if it is a demonic haunting, that it's because something was actually summoned to that house,
Hmm.
and a very ancient way. It's wild to me, and I'm like, why? But for me, I watched several documentaries. They're all there. Every one of them, they were at the house while they were talking about it or showing pictures of it. And I'm picking up on the energy of the house, and I'm like, I don't think it's demonic. There's something dark there, but not demonic.
Yeah, I think one of the other things, so in the documentary that I was watching, it's on Prime. You do have to pay like $3 to rent it, but I just did because I couldn't find it anywhere else. But it was the Sallie House Gateway to the Paranormal. And there was a family, what, the Pickertons, I think their name was, that they lived there for the couple
Mhm.
of years. Um, and they actually had footage from some other like older paranormal show um, of somebody getting scratched. And it's like those three marks and stuff. So that normally, people say indicates the demonic haunting. That being said, is it just an earthbound that could be mimicking that all in order to scare them? Who knows? So that was the other kind of
Yeah,
piece of
and
evidence, if you want to call it that.
as far as stuff like that goes, for me, I feel like that, that's not really a sign of an, a dark spirit, a demon, or anything. Because, like, if you think about it, we don't know how much energy it takes for them to manifest anything. So it could be very well be that that's just how it manifested itself. It was not intentional. I wasn't trying to hurt you. I mean,
Mm,
it could just be Grandpa trying to get through, and by the time he got enough energy built up and could finally release it, that is how it manifested. And I'm pretty sure Grandpa, well, not that's not always the case, but I'm pretty sure Grandpa wasn't trying to hurt
right.
you. But just like with anything, we don't know for sure, so we can't say. We can't dismiss it being a sign of an evil entity because as soon as we do that, then it was an evil entity that did it that time, and now we refuse to look at it that way.
Right.
But um, for anybody who doesn't know, I want to give just a quick rundown of the Sallie House. I know that it's over here now, a link for it, which is great. Basically, the different stories, the different well, there's two different stories. The one is that in this house, a doctor had his practice in the basement, and him and his family lived upstairs. One night, a woman brought her, I believe, 6-year-old child to the house in the middle of the night. She was complaining of abdominal pain. The doctor then decided that she had appendicitis and he had to do an emergency operation. And up to this point, well, hold on. Let me keep going. He gave her an anesthetic or a numbing or something, and he started working before it kicked in. So she felt every bit of that pain, and ultimately resulted in her dying during the operation. Up to this point, that is the part that is agreed on no matter which version of the story you listen to. One version of the story is it was just some random woman. The other version, and Melissa brought it up earlier, was it, you know, the daughter of a doctor or someone, or just a random kid, because there was also part of the story that says that the girl was the doctor's daughter as a result of an affair he was having, and because of the affair, he couldn't take her to a real hospital in fear that it was going to come out that he had an affair. So he just did the operation himself. Thereby, she still died during operation. The only problem is there's absolutely no record that ever took place in that house. There really was a doctor in his family who lived in that house, and he really did have his practice in that house. But there's no record that Sallie ever crossed the threshold to his house. Morning, Chris. I believe,
So
Melissa, you said one documentary said that there was a tombstone or something very close to the house that said so.
yeah,
Maybe,
that was the ages of a young girl, named Sally. Um,
right.
but I did put the link up in chat of one of the articles that we read through. Um, so if you want to, you can copy paste that and go take a peek at that. Um,
I guess the
now,
other thing oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
I was going to say it was also listed on A Haunting, which was like season 2, episode
Mhm.
4. It was listed in sightings. I'm like,
I look
I
at that.
remember that. Um, so you can find it. You have to dig around. I found The Haunting on YouTube, and it's clearly somebody who was kind of holding a camera up, so it's not officially Travel Channel, but if you dig around, you will find it
Mm.
if you want to watch that. Now, I don't know if either one of you found evidence in your research of people having paranormal experiences before that young family moved in, where the husband was getting attacked left and right.
I didn't.
So, that makes me
I
kind of
didn't.
question the house
Yeah,
being haunted, or was it something with him? What did he
right.
pick up at work or a bar or something of that nature?
Right, because it seemed to start with that family, and then it said that when their kid came, it got even worse. And it's like, okay, so up to you, nobody's complained about stuff happening in the house. That now, that doesn't mean it didn't happen. That just means that you're the first one to say anything. But it's still kind of suspicious that nothing was happening. Nothing was happening in this house until you showed up.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And
my thoughts
also,
on that.
also was that family the ones who did the ceremony in the basement?
Yeah, and
Because
well,
maybe it all started there, and it was, I don't know, but I know that all hell's broken loose in that house ever since then, and I would love to go there, like really bad.
with the
Another good
doctor
trip.
and stuff, like
Um,
my thought is at that time period, a doctor for like a small town is very, very influential. So if he was having an affair, just because there's not like a record of something like that doesn't necessarily mean it didn't happen. You know what I mean? Because there's so like the tombstone thing is like interesting to me, but
yeah.
I'm just curious to if it actually happened. Um, the other thing too about it like kind of ramping up just with that young couple, which we talk about this in the store. For me, I think that like sometimes when somebody who is sensitive moves in somewhere where there was like a lot of tragedy and stuff, they almost like
Mhm.
wake up maybe the kind of spirits that were there in a way because hey, these people have a lot more energy or can kind of interact or understand a little bit more maybe than these
Right.
people kind of ignored a random cabinet slam or you know what I'm saying? So it very well could be that they were a little sensitive and because I know in the documentary I'm watching the they had a friend who was a paranormal investigator and a medium and she was the one that kind of was like the go between for sightings and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
for me, normally like attracts like, you know, so they probably are already kind of interested in this stuff. If they're gonna have a friend that was like really into it, we kind of come in flocks as we've seen. So that's
Yeah.
my thought on that.
Yeah. I heard about the medium too, and um, so this all started. Sallie House was my idea because it sounded really interesting because I watched it. I watched an investigation done there on. Um, I don't know if I'm actually allowed to advertise or say their name, so I'm going to just hold their name. But there was an investigation done there, and the videos were posted over the last 2 weeks. Um, and they were using the what a piece of equipment, the Ovilus, I want to say, and it had come through, and what the question was, like, if you are a demon, who summoned you here? And then it said psychic. So I'm kind of also wondering, maybe did the medium make things worse? Did they? Because I know that there are mediums out there who do make things worse. They use their gifts. For for lack of a better term right now, because I'm just trying to get my thoughts out. Use your powers for good and not, or evil and not good. And they use their gifts in a way to make things worse. And it's almost like some of them will use their gifts to try and make things worse to make them look better in the end. Like they do something incredibly stupid that they know better, so that they can almost be the solution in the end. But maybe this one was new and didn't know how to handle what they had done. I mean, I know that's weird, and I'm not explaining it right at all.
That
Because,
made sense to me.
well, you're scatterbrained, so it makes sense.
True.
But
It may have been on. I thought maybe Unsolved Mysteries as well, but
I think I heard
misspeak.
that. I think that's one of the things that I heard that it was on. I do believe that I heard that too.
Now, I did find it interesting that in most couples in a house, right, it's usually the wife, the mom,
Yeah.
Who's seeing, hearing, and it's always the husband, the guy, who's like, nah, you're just
Right.
sleep deprived, you're crazy, you're home alone, overactive imagination. And for once, it's switched. And it was kind of humorous to me in a way, like, here we go, finally we have the other way around. So that was
Right.
interesting. And I know in one of the documentaries, it's like, oh, Sally's trying to protect the baby, and I'm like, so then what is he doing?
Right.
Or was this just an excuse by maybe a little bit of an inept medium who's trying to think of reasons why? Because in the haunting, that this medium was very, like, given so much wrong advice, in my opinion, of what they should and shouldn't be doing, and kept trying to explain it away. And it's like, it's just fine. We're just trying to protect the. How is that protecting the baby? Like,
Yeah,
this
it's
is not
not
protection.
fine.
This is assault. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So, I'm like, please say who this medium is, so we can all be like, don't go to them.
Right.
Yeah.
Granted, it's been a few years. I'm sure they've gotten better, but
I hope.
but it, yeah, right. But I found it interesting that for once it was the guy, the male, having the
Yeah.
interaction. And convenient that I'm like, oh, if you can move stuffed animals around, then clearly you can pick up laundry and do some other shit. So earn your
Right.
keep if you're going to be in my house.
Earn your keep if you're gonna be here. Like,
Right.
Put your
We
dish
all
in the
got
sink.
we all got to pitch in around here. If we're gonna all live here, we're all pitching in. If
Like,
you're not
if you
going,
have the
you're not
energetic
going
dexterity,
to the broom, bring some money.
right.
yeah, if you can do a circle, then you can place a cup in a sink without
Yeah.
like slapping. So I expect more of you.
Make some repairs
Yeah.
while you're at
That's
it.
right.
Reno.
But yeah, I found it that it only happened with this family. It was only him. So I wish we had more background information on this gentleman, of what he did in and outside of that house. What was his work? Because I do not think they ever really said in any of the documentaries or articles of like what they did.
Yeah, I never seen anything on that.
I agree, Chris. She says, sounds like that medium was taking advantage of people who were in a vulnerable state. That is fakery at its finest.
Between Melissa and Chris, they did a much better job explaining what I was trying to say.
Yep, or near
I'm glad
cutie,
that the
you're
both of
invisible.
your brains can get my thoughts out there.
Um, I don't know. I think if I lived locally, like I would be like, yeah, okay, let's go. But I don't think there's been much after. I'm sure there's been plenty of ghost people in there, and they seem to keep recreating what they've seen already on documentary.
Mm,
Um, this one wouldn't be high on my list of wanting to go to. Like, if I'm putting out travel money, there are better places that I'm
right.
going to pay to go see outside of my immediate area. Um, I don't know if you
Yeah,
guys
no, I
would.
agree. I
Yeah,
guess
I
I
feel like
kind of agree with that, but like I I picked up so much on the energy of the house when I was watching, especially the newer investigation that just took place a few months ago, and picking up the current energy of the house, and I'm like, I don't feel a little girl in there, but there's something dark there, and I think it was created by everybody. Like everybody who's been in there since, it has created this darkness in that house. And I'm like, but I'm watching it through a computer screen, so I could be wrong. So
agree.
let me go and see what it's really like. But then it's also like, hmm, I can't even afford to go see my sister in North Carolina. Why am I going to put out money to go to a place that could or could not be haunted? Like if I'm going to go to a place, I want a lot of people to be like, yeah, it's absolute. Like there's a lot of shit happening there. All you know, like if I lived far away, I would put out money to go from let's go North Carolina where my sister lives. If I lived there, I would put out the money to say come to the reformatory, or for me to go to West Virginia State Penn,
Yeah,
something like that. But Sallie House, now the um, Lizzie Borden house, absolutely, I'd put money out to go there.
Conjuring.
I would want to
And
do the overnight in the Lizzie Borden.
Conjuring house and
Yep.
every yeah,
That and the Conjuring house
those
for me.
ones
Like
Yeah,
a butt
those are.
definitely.
money. I will pay
Conjuring would
money.
totally be worth it,
And
absolutely. And
Melanie had said come see her in Savannah. And yep,
Melanie.
and I'm like, okay,
every
like
single week, she reminds you that you still have to come. Now, get on it.
Yeah, Melanie has been after like me and Marianne and me and you get like come to Savannah. Like at some point Savannah. Like see all the
yes,
things and all the ghosts in Savannah.
it can't not be haunted. It's literally built on
Oh,
top
Oh, so
of.
Chris, you and Melanie should figure out how, because you're on two different platforms, like how
yeah,
to talk. How about Melanie send me an email if you want to meet Chris, and maybe you guys could even take some pictures or something for
yeah.
us. Record.
I don't know you, Melanie, but you definitely want to meet Chris.
Um, uh, you know what? Here, if you're okay with that, Melanie, I don't want to throw you under the bus. So, if that's not okay, let us know.
Right.
But send us an email. Whoops! Stop it! Stop it right here, and I can get it to Chris,
Go
and
for
maybe
it.
you two can, talk and maybe plan. So there
Or
we go. There
maybe
we
we
go,
just
Chris.
go in Chris's trunk. And we
Oh,
just
Chris is like, I hopped over here too. Thank you,
it's
Chris.
There
funny.
you go.
I respect the commitment there. Like I'm over here. No.
Right. So hopefully, yeah, if you guys are able to get together, maybe go to some places, take some pictures, shoot us videos, that would be fun. Fun, fun, fun.
Yeah, it would.
Um, we live vicariously through Chris.
I'm telling you.
We sent Chris. Chris, have the adventures for us while you can.
Yep, while we're
Um,
stuck in Ohio.
that's right. That's right. While it tries to decide if we're going to get sun today or not. Um,
I'm gonna lean towards not.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yep. You're gonna have to, Chris. Maybe when you get back, maybe we can schedule a time that to do like a special show where you can come on and talk with us directly about your ghost adventures while you're out on this vacation.
That is a great idea.
That would be
Yeah.
awesome. Of course, it would be great to have Chris on here anytime because we all know Chris and we all love Chris. And like Chris is smarter than me, so obviously he's my thoughts were put out there.
Hey, no hate. You do what you gotta. You do what you gotta. Um,
I'm all this.
can I hitchhike too?
Yeah, I
Like,
guess I meant like a
Like,
little trip.
I mean,
I will carry
give me
some luggage around.
give me a pillow and a blanket and throw me in the trunk, and I'll be okay.
I mean, anytime that I've been trying to go on a gem show and I'm like, what's haunted near me? And I came so
Yeah.
close to going to Tombstone while I was in Arizona. But in talking with all of the people, it has become so commercialized and so
Oh.
overrun that I'm like, that's going to ruin it. Now I kind of don't even want to go.
Just
But I
make me
took my little
sad.
ghost box. Yeah, I took my little ghost box and everything. And I'm like, no.
Yeah. Sadly, that happens too often with good places that with great hauntings, and they find out there's a market for it. Next thing you know, boom, and it's like, let's leave it simple, guys. That's how you're going to get the best stuff. Leave it simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely that friend too, though, where it's like wherever we go, I'm like seeing just how far away. And of course, like I'm the only spooky friend, really, like in my one group of
Right.
girls. It's like everyone, like I'm like, it's 20 minutes to Moonville Tunnels. Like, let's just go. Why not? And like nobody wants to. And I'm like, you know what? I just need, like, I drag Brandon pretty much where,
We
like,
should
if
go
he
on a
goes-
Monday.
Yeah, he doesn't
We
have a
need to go
choice.
on an Melanie, Emily. We need to go on a Monday when the stores close.
Yes.
You know, it's in school.
I want to go.
Yes.
That,
And I'll
like,
just go by myself.
there's definitely some stuff that I want to do because, like, I'm literally the only one that is like that around here. I'm like, everybody who's into stuff I'm into is literally all the way up there where you guys are, and I'm just like, it's so far away. And like, she's
Luna's running
here
around in the background. Yeah, Luna's running around. She just hopped down.
right now. She's eating.
Oh, that reminded me. On the documentary that I'm watching, they had a Great Dane that was like a sensitive, basically like drug dog, but for ghosts. Okay, like would sniff
Yeah.
out hot spots and stuff. And the one closet, like the dog, even in the room, like the dog would not go into the room. Like he was running all over the house, and then he kept trying to get the dog to go in there, and it like would not go in there. But I'm like, what if Luna was just like a little investigation dog? And because she's sensitive, right? You could bring her and see.
Yeah, if I can get her to the point that she will stay with me while we're walking instead of trying, like, she pulls so hard on her leash, I'm like, you are literally going to choke yourself out.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, you know what? I don't even argue with her anymore. I'm like, I'm just gonna let you do it because once you pass out from pulling so much, then you'll learn that me telling you get your butt back here and walk with me. Don't look at me like that when I'm talking shit.
She knows it. The animals always know when you're talking to them too.
And like, because she is registered as my emotional support pet, so technically she is allowed and supposed to go with me places, but she's also got a big mouth, and I'm surprised she's not barking right now because the wind's blowing loud outside.
So,
But
I don't know if you saw in the beginning, this is the Sallie House that's in Kansas, right? Kansas, Arkansas. I forget. There's K's and A's going on.
it's so many places. I'm just kidding.
But
Yes,
so the house had been around for a while. A young family moves in. Husband starts being attacked after what they moved in, and it was about a month after that they were in that this started.
Something.
And it started with little things like the TV would turn itself back on and things like that. And then the baby's born. It kind of escalates. They have a medium come in, and she's like, it's trying to protect the baby, but it's only attacking the husband.
Okay, I see the comment that why she said what she said. Yes, you are talking about the same Sallie House. She did put a comment in there, basically telling the story of the surgery. She looked it up on Wikipedia and seen that. So, like, yes, that's the same one. But I would caution against believing anything read on Wikipedia because people are able to go in and change that information. What you got was right, so you got lucky with that one. But Wikipedia absolutely is just it's terrible. Like I've been so confident using stuff I got on Wikipedia before, and then come to find out I had the facts completely wrong because I took them off Wikipedia and they were completely wrong. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So now I refuse to use it. So just be cautious when using that. But for now, yes, you're talking about the same Sallie House. She and Luna will not let me put anything on her. I can't even put one of them harnesses on her so that she's not choking herself out. Like the only thing she lets me put on her is her collar, but when I take her collar off to give her a bath, as soon as we get out, she jumps right up on the bed, goes over to where she knows her collar's laying, and grabs it and brings it and drops it on my lap like, okay, put it back on. She refuses to be without her collar, but she won't let me put anything on her, and it's annoying because that would be so stinking cute.
Steve lets me dress him up like pretty, which like you wouldn't expect this with a cat, but he's unusual. And he probably couldn't fit in it now because he's put on some pounds, but we had a little Browns like jersey and pants from Build-A-Bear, and it has like the hole for the tail and everything, and he like let us put it on him, and he was really okay with it. Like I have a picture somewhere, I'll have to find it, but it was the cutest thing ever.
Yeah.
But even like you said about animals choking themselves out, Steve will like lay in a box and put his neck like right on the side of the box, and he sits there like, and I'm like, get up, like why are you doing that? So yeah, they don't know it's good for him.
I had gotten sick those little dragon bat wings that wrap around Velcro, and he just lays down and he's like, I hate you.
I refuse to. I'm not even gonna like humor you right now.
I'm like, oh, you look like a little toothless, like sit up. And he's like, no. I'll have to like torture him long enough to get a picture of him wearing them. And...
Yeah. Hilda would never. Hilda would like scratch me in my sleep or something if I tried to put something on her.
I will poop in your shoes when you're not.
Exactly. She's like,
Yeah, I had three cats, and I'm telling you, one of them would have let me dress him up. The other one might have. The other one would have absolutely destroyed me.
Yeah. Like even Steve wants us to put a harness on him to walk him outside. The second I try and lead him, though, it's like a different story. Like then he's gonna like freak out trying to get out of it and everything. But if I just let him lead me, he's fine. So we tried to put the harness on Hilda, and she like lost it. Like zoomies everywhere, like jumping, like bouncing off the wall and everything. Like would not let us. So yeah, animals are like they're different personalities.
I would love to dress Luna up as a little Sherlock Holmes and take her on a investigation.
Wishbone.
Like yes, there it is. There it is. And I think and I think she would be good at it,
But Sheila agrees.
but I can I can't get her to. Well, of course, I can't get me to either, so I can't say nothing. But I can't get her to focus on anything long enough to keep her attention. Like she's so ADD, and it's like, okay, I get it, I really do, but can we please focus on one thing for 5 minutes so that we can get something done?
As
Like,
she's like behind you, like
yeah,
with her toy going all crazy.
yeah, she done abandoned her sandwich and not her reindeer. Or never mind, she just threw it at me. It literally just hit me on my back. She's like, "Okay, keep talking."
That's funny.
I'm like
Anything else
just
to add
googling
about
some.
the Sallie House?
I'm just kind of googling around and looking
Well,
around.
yeah,
There's
Phil, I
like
hear
mixed
them.
reviews, like on TripAdvisor. If you're like, let me find a haunted place to stay.
Zip it.
Very, very mixed
got you.
reviews about it.
Yeah.
A little underwhelming, in my opinion.
Yeah.
At first, it seems so interesting. Like the story is interesting. It really is. It's like because there's so many layers to it, but then you find out that there's not really that much, like in the way of paranormal evidence. There's not that much. I mean, it's got a really good legend behind it. The
Yeah.
little girl, it could be there. It could. A lot of people. There are a lot of people who believe that it is a demon pretending to be the little girl, and I'm not discounting that at all and saying that it couldn't be. I'm just saying I don't think it is, but I also don't think it's the little girl. And I don't believe that Sally's there at all. But like I said earlier, I'm taking my impressions from seeing the house through a computer screen. Maybe when if I ever get to the house, it'll be totally different because you're going to better pick up on the energy of a place when you're actually there than you are through a computer screen. So I could be, I mean, obviously there could be so much going on there, and I'm only picking up on one part of it, you know, and it obviously is the part that you're expecting when you're watching a paranormal show. And so it's easy. And then, with that being said, also it's easy for me to trick myself into feeling that too.
So the Sallie House has their own Facebook group. I'm gonna put the link in for that if you guys want to browse around on there. It looks like they've got pictures and whatnot. So far, it looks like all the pictures supplied are from the owners rather than allowing other people to upload like their pictures.
Yeah.
That's lame. Sorry, but they should let people upload theirs.
No, you're absolutely right.
It looks like it would help them.
Absolutely. That's what I'm. If you are expecting to get any kind of business, you need to be willing to let other people post their evidence and whatever else. That's why I like these haunted places where they have like a guest book, like bed and breakfast, inns, hotels have their little guest books. Like if you experience something, write it down.
Mm-hmm.
And then they allow you to write your story, what happened, and then you can submit. Like if you did take pictures, or it's like, oh, that was weird. You can submit your pictures, and then they'll put it up on their website or something, and then everybody can just talk about what was it or what could it have been. Because what I find more often than not, especially with pictures, is somebody's like, it was taken in the, it's the exact same picture back to back, And it's like, but it's not. If you look, you just slightly moved off, so anything could have made that obstruction that gave you what you have. Even the slightest little millimeter of a twist from the first picture can change the entire picture. That's the problem with that. But at the same time, you have some pictures that are absolutely irrefutable, like the one Melissa showed us a few weeks back of that investigation that she was on. Wasn't it like the doppelganger picture?
Yeah, where they were mimicking or,
Yeah,
doubling one of the people
yeah.
of our group.
That one was
Which
irrefutable.
I did put that up in our Discord. So there is a channel on the Discord for like ghost pictures and stuff. So if you guys
I'll have to
them, you can
ask
put it up there.
my friend Gabby to send me one. I had Greg look at it because it was like, it's so crazy. Like you can see a full face, everything. And I remember she is like into this stuff and everything, but she is a little bit more practical or skeptical than I am. Like it's kind of hard to be more into this stuff than I am. So I get it. But so she was staying there with her family who's like very much not into this stuff, just at this like cabin in I think Put in Bay. Or was it Vermilion? But either way, it was like some beach town. And she's like, I just have felt weird this whole time. Like, even my family says, like, they're hearing like creaks and stuff at night. And then finally, she like sent me a picture. It's like, oh, do you see like a shadow or a little light here? And I zoomed in and I was like, I see a whole face and ear and everything. So I'll have to tell her
Yeah.
to send it to me so that I can post it in the Discord because it's probably like the most insane like apparition, like photo evidence I've personally seen. So I'll have to but she also has ADHD, so it might take her a minute. And I say this as somebody who also does, so but might take her
guess
a
who rolled
minute.
up in here?
Oh, just in time. I'm back.
It is National Bat, so I'm having all these side conversations about bats, and I'm like, I love bats. And Sierra's like, it's the day of your people. Yes, it is. And if I had this picture ready to go, there'd be a little brown bat that would sneak into the upstairs bedroom of my old house. For like 2-3 nights, it kept getting in, and I couldn't figure out how. But one of the top windows dropped, like maybe that much, and that's how he was getting in. And when I finally found it and closed it, then I would hear him like hit.
Like, I want to let me in.
Like, yeah, can't be in here.
Yeah, what's cool in the eclipse, we were at Brandon's mom's house. She lives in Barton, so it's a little bit more rural. There's like woods backed up to her house and stuff and lots of trees. And when the eclipse happened and it got dark, like 2 or 3 bats came up from the tree and started like circling around. It was so cool. And then like as soon as the sun came out, they were like, whoa, and like went back in the tree, like false alarm.
Bright light.
Yeah, exactly. It was really funny.
You know what, Chris? We should line this up. We should figure out how to get a day where we can go to Paynesville.
And, I've been wanting to go there.
We got some between the. I'm sure we've got plenty of equipment, and I know Nikki has some stuff too. Yeah, today was kind of a shorter call because there really wasn't a whole lot about the Sallie House. I think my biggest overall question, besides just like I'm like, why is it suddenly all of a sudden popular right now? Like,
Yeah.
How did it become popular again to talk about this?
Mm-hmm. It is so
yeah, it does seem like it came out of nowhere. But, I mean, I don't know how it became popular, but like I do, if I'm anywhere near it, like I definitely want to stop in and just feel the energy. Like I'm not going in for an investigation because I don't feel like I would actually get much. But I wouldn't mind like swinging by and catching the energy of the house and seeing maybe if I can, get a better feel as to what might be actually going on there.
Hmm.
But I don't think it would be. It definitely wouldn't be worth going all the way out to Kansas just for that.
Yeah, not much else around. Like,
No, I can't think of any other like famously haunted place like in that area. Now, I'm sure if there were
Mhm.
local people, they could be like, "Oh, this little bar over here has issues, or this church has
mhm.
issues, or
Yeah,
this school," but
I
nothing
mean,
that's been popularized.
there's a website that I use to find the subjects for my um, journey into the known books, where I talk about history and hauntings and places. There's a website I use to find haunted places in certain states. So I'm sure once I finally get to Kansas, I will find something near it. But as of right now, I haven't.
So
So
I feel like if we took Zach with us, he might be an instigator.
You know what?
Change it.
Better him than me. You know what I mean? You could attract him, and we'll just document what happened. So
Like Zach will be our guinea pig that we send in first. Like, go in there,
mm,
do the thing. We want to see what happens.
yeah, we need
um,
Jack for comedic relief too. So I'm down with you coming.
oh yeah.
uh,
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like when it if for recording like investigations, like we definitely would need somebody like him around because like I am extremely serious when I get into an investigation, like because I don't want to accidentally disrespect them because I'm for obvious reasons. Anybody who had heard my story from a couple months ago, for obvious reasons I'm scared of the repercussions that can come from being an ass to spirits because I know exactly what they can do now. So I just get dead serious all the time.
well, that's a good theory, Chris. She's like, I think people trying out the free streaming services like Tubi and Pluto, and they tend to play the older stuff. I bet it was running
Mm.
on one of them and recently watched. You know, it's
Oh, I
funny
didn't
because
know
my
Pluto
mom,
was free.
it is, yeah. That
Right?
they have some pretty cool channels on there. If you
Okay.
need fall asleep stuff, tons of true crime channels to fall
There we
asleep to.
go.
Yeah,
But they do have a couple like paranormal channels on there
Hmm.
as
I
well.
was gonna say I know Tubi for sure. I've been watching. I've already watched every episode already, but I started watching Ghost Brothers again because I freaking love them.
They're so funny.
And
They're
they're the
hilarious
nicest
in
people
person.
in real
They're,
life too.
Yeah,
So
so funny.
they are amazing.
I'll have
Like
to find the
last year,
picture that I have with them. I didn't mean to cook. It's so funny because I
no,
told Melissa about this because the beam of light
I
just
have.
took my whole face out.
I'm
But
so mad because Facebook deleted my old account, and so the pictures I got with them 2 years ago are gone. But I found out that all of the pictures I took last year I took on Snapchat.
mm,
So I got my pictures with them last year, and they made sure to let me know last year when they saw me that they could see the difference from my weight loss.
oh,
Like
nice.
between the time I met them and the time I seen them last year, I lost 100 pounds. It's hard to miss that.
oh, that's interesting. So I remember the Unsolved
Really,
Mysteries, and did it scare you as a kid? Um, but to go what was his name? Robert Stack. His voice is like the iconic voice for all things
you said
weird.
Tubi.
But um, so
Just so happen to have Tubi on my phone, so I'm gonna go look that up right now so I can make sure I have that saved
yeah,
because I need something to watch. Oh, it sure does too, don't it? It's got different versions too.
yeah. Because I think didn't they within the last like 3 to 5 years try to relaunch it?
I think so. It's got the first 12 seasons, the original series. And then it's got a newer series that's 8 seasons long.
We'll have to schedule a night where we all just sit around in Discord and watch Unsolved Mysteries and comment. Feel like that one's bunkus. We're like,
We need we
forget
need
about that.
to do our own version of Paranormal Caught on Camera.
Yes.
That's going to require time and travel to go get enough stuff to make.
That's also
Well,
valid.
no, because they take everything offline. I mean, it's not like I don't have time to sit around at work like I always do and get
And find the things.
stuff together. The problem is getting you two to read my messages.
Sorry. It's not just you, it's everyone that I'm like that with. I do my best.
I will definitely keep an eye, and so Emily too. Like, if we get mail from Melanie, it's for this because
Okay.
you and Eileen will
That's
check
awesome.
the mailbox.
Yes. We sure will. I will
That's
keep
great.
with
I
our
can't
Ghost
wait for
Brothers.
that. But it would. I think that would be fun.
You know
I
what?
am-
And that reminds me, there's a couple of pictures hanging around the store left over from Marianne and I, like that one motorcycle picture where the guy bought the motorcycle and the previous owner is like overlaid over top of the living person. And I have to find. I think at one point it was propped up in the windows, so we'll have to go
Huh.
grab that because that correlates to an episode that Marianne and I did on the podcast. But that's a really cool picture, and it's a Marianne one,
That
so you
sounds-
know it's when she's like, "Nope, here's a ghost picture."
Right. Absolutely.
I'm
Uh,
trying to find the Ghost Brothers picture, but I'll just do it later. Sorry. Yeah, at this point.
Yeah. I. Those guys are awesome. Like, they're not going to be at ParasiteCon this year, but neither am I, so it's okay.
What?
But
They're not.
um,
That's the only reason
no.
why I go.
But I love, like, I went the last 2 years, but I did the VIP meet and greet before the Friday
Mhm.
night, and so the last 2 years I maybe did a few more shots than I should have with them. Well, considering the distance I had to drive to get home, I shouldn't have done
Right. That's fun.
But and I gotta give props to these people. I really do. These celebrities, I have to give them complete and total props because they do these events. Then like they go so for like Parasitecon, for example, they Friday night they go out for 3 or 4 hours. They drink, they
Mhm.
interact. Then what a lot of people don't know is there is a celebrity after party where they all get together at the hotel just with each other and drink before they go to bed. Then they come in, they do all day Saturday, do not miss a beat, have the right energy for everybody coming through. And then they do the celebrity ghost hunt Saturday night.
Mhm.
And then they get back up and do it again Sunday, and they go straight from the reformatory. They pack up at the reformatory and go straight from there to the airport to fly out to their next event or to home, wherever they're doing afterwards. And I'm like, listen, I would die halfway through Saturday.
Yeah, that's too
I'm not.
much people.
I'm not gonna make it. I can set up. If I can set up with my stuff like you guys do, and I would be fine. But like the Ghost Brothers, especially, not only are they doing, the VIP meet and greet, then they're doing the meet and greets at their tables and selling stuff, doing the celebrity ghost hunt, but then they're also keynote speakers while they're there.
Right.
They give an hour-long speech. Like, so they gotta prepare for that too, and then, and they keep all the celebrities keep such good energy, and I'm like, listen, bravo, because I need a break. Like, I'm just walking around, and even I need to step away.
So I do see that Mike Ricksecker is going to be there again. Now he is a
Wow.
local author, and he is catching some I guess, fame, if you will, on a lot of TV shows. But he is a
Oh, yeah.
really good resource if you're going to be able to go to talk
He's a good
about shadow people and the dimensions and all that fun stuff. So if you are
person.
going and you have questions about those type of beings, like he is the guy to talk to. And way back
Oh,
on our
yeah.
YouTube channel for the store, he came in and spoke, spoke something
Either
at the Marianne book club that we were doing, and we used his book for the monthly. And he came in, and this man brought a whole presentation. Like he brought more than we thought he
oh,
was going to, and he let us record it and put it up on our YouTube, so you can go watch his presentation
yeah, I like
on the
him.
whole shadow people. Very nice guy. But he will be there. But now I am bummed that the Ghost Brothers are not going to be there because I always enjoyed bullshitting with them.
Yeah,
Um,
they're so fun. But I mean, I don't. I haven't. I follow them on social media, and I don't think they're doing much in the way of paranormal anymore at all. I think they had their time, and now they're like, we're gonna move on to different things. Like one of them just became a dad, and one of them was just at a, or Marcus was just at a barber conference and stuff. And I'm like, okay, so you guys are stepping back from the paranormal a little bit, which I get because they've been doing it for years now, and it does wear you down eventually. And
Yeah.
when you're famous for it, it's like we need a break.
So, Zach, I've never heard of this book. I don't know if you have, Emily, because I know you read
I don't
some
think I've
books and knowledge.
I've never heard of that one,
So, no opinion, Zach, because have not read it, never heard of it. Um,
but I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, it seems very interesting.
yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, Karen. Karen got to see it. Yeah, Mike's presentation on the whole shadow people and everything. It was really cool.
Yeah,
For those, you can, like I said, go back and watch it on our YouTube.
I
Really nice
know.
guy. Um,
I hear you.
I don't think they do, honestly, and I'm not sure who pays for all that travel either.
No, they don't make. I don't. They don't make much at all. I mean,
They're
I
making their
don't
money off the
obviously.
merchandise sales.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's. I think that's where all of them make their money because some of them like they'll bring like their T-shirts and stuff, but and obviously pretty much every one of them has pictures of them. You get their picture, their autograph, and all that stuff. But a lot of them will also have like different stuff, like handmade stuff, like what I would sell.
Hmm.
Because they're not making enough off of just doing the paranormal bit. Like you got to get they have a little side hustle along with it. And what a lot of people don't realize is that the people who do these events, like even if they're on TV, they really do have actual jobs.
Right.
Like, because it's not like Hollywood celebrities where they make millions off of what they're doing. Like, they have to have a 9 to 5 like everybody else does.
Yeah, I bet when the network is promoting like their new seasons, I don't know though, Chris, about when it comes to like
Yeah.
Mansfield.
Yeah.
If Mansfield's just hiring them, whoop, well, guess what? My do not disturb is wore off, so we're over an hour.
Oh,
Um,
it's 11:02.
but so that's interesting. What's funny is because like I would actually love to ghost hunt and hang at Mansfield with Women where I go every year, and it's funny because
I've
we've all
been,
kind of kicked around like, what if we did a trip somewhere to like Mansfield or some local place for.
We
So
should. We've been wanting to forever. We need to just
and
make
Lord
it
actually
knows,
sit down and make it. Yeah.
we all know that if if you read my first book, we all know that I've done plenty of investigations there, and I have plenty of experiences there. And plus, I volunteered there for 4 years, so I mean, I have a lot of stuff happen from there. But I always that building grabs a hold of you, and you, no matter how hard you try, you cannot get away from that building. That building sent me away from the paranormal and then welcomed me back to the paranormal. So, as hard as I tried, I could not stay away from that place, and I tried. But there's something people don't believe that buildings can do something, but the reformatory is proof that a building can grab you and it has you.
I agree, Chris. I'm pretty sure the Ghost Brothers have to pay for that because I doubt Mansfield pays for their travel and hotel and all of that.
Oh, I doubt it. Yeah.
Um, but if you
Well,
guys have any suggestions for which type of case you'd like us to talk or investigate into
yes, please.
for upcoming weeks, drop them in the comments. Even if you come back later in a couple of days and you're like, this sounds interesting, we can still see it. And you can also email it over if you'd like us to look into it. And now that the weather's getting nice, like we'll actually have to be somewhat more serious now. Like this is where we should all go and go look
Yeah.
at. If you have pictures or other fun spooky stuff, this is the permanent link. It should always work now for Discord. Pop in. We also have channels set for tarot. You can share pictures of your pets, book reviews or recommendations, witchy, non-witchy. Put them in there. I should probably make a paranormal channel for book because there is a book from Llewellyn about the Sallie House back in 2010. There's a newer book in the last year for the House of Wills, which I haven't flipped through yet. So we can keep talking outside of Wednesday mornings in this hour and help inspire things to look into. Sometimes it's fun looking at these famous cases, and then other times I think it's more fun to find the hidden, not so well known.
Oh yeah.
But
The not so well known ones are juicier because they haven't been run through the mill. They don't have so much. They don't have anything because they're not very well known at all. And it's that is where you're going to get your best story.
Yeah. So they do offer group and private investigations, but if you come down to Mansfield for the Parapsychon, you get to walk all through there to a point. You don't get the free roam of the whole building because some of it's still great admin work on. But you can wander around a great amount of square footage in there.
And they do offer private investigations too, but they're just a little costly. So
they are, but it's not really. When you think about how famous the place is, it kind of.
It's hard to find any place that's not costly at this point, which we've kind of talked about. But that's just my forewarning.
Yeah, it isn't that bad. Yeah. But I would like to try to set up a private investigation with us to take some people from here who want to go do it. Because if we get enough people, then it won't be too bad.
Agree. That was kind of the point. Yeah, I was making is we'd have to do a larger, not large, but more than us three, obviously. Yeah.
I mean, for just us three, that would cost me almost half a paycheck. I can't do it. But if we can get 7 or 8 people, that would be perfect. And and I will say that we can almost if you've never been ghost hunting, take any advice that I give you, because I don't go in doing it like they do it on TV, because that'll tick me off. I hate doing investigations with people who are this is how they do it on TV, and that's for TV, darling. They're dead Not deaf. You don't have to scream. And you got to be quiet sometimes. But we're not going to get into that because we're 10 minutes over at this point. So
Yeah,
almost.
I was gonna
I'm
say.
going to I'm going to shut up
All
because
right,
once
Emily, you're reading
I get
in the
started,
store
I'll listen.
today.
Yes, I will be in the store from I'm scheduled to be there from 2 to 6. I will probably pop in early, although I do have a half hour in there where I've got a client coming. But other than that, I'm free. So if you want to come see me, yeah, I'll be there.
And come, even if you're like, hey, I want to meet her in person, let's talk about some ghosty
Yeah,
stuff. If she's not busy with the reading, I'm sure.
I
You
would love to chat with all of you.
And trust me, she likes to
um,
play.
but
I do.
but
Sometimes I can't
uh,
shut her up. I'm like, Emily, shh. It's me.
let's see. So, thanks for joining us, guys. We'll be back next
Yes.
week at 10 a.m. Not sure what case we're talking about yet. We'll figure it out between now and then. Send in some recommendations if you
Thank
found
you.
something cool, and we'll gladly look into it. But thanks for joining, guys.
Thanks for
Bye,
listening.
guys. See you
Take
next week.
care.
Bye.